Hello guys and welcome to the weekly guide series. Today we will be covering the fighter Khaleed, so if you want to elevate your knowledge and your gaming experience, stay tuned. This guide will be covering a few topics. To start with, we'll get to know the hero skills and the way they work. Secondly, we'll take a look at the builds and the battle spells. Thereafter, we'll follow up with the emblems that work best for Khaleed. And lastly, you will see a gameplay analysis, which details the pros and the cons of playing this hero. So with that being said, let's get right into it. While we go through the skills, feel free to pause this video and properly read the skill description. Sandwalk is his passive ability, which is being charged while you move around and while you use active skills. When it's fully charged, you gain 25% movement speed, and for your next basic attack, you deal extra damage and slow down your target. Now, unfortunately, his passive does not synergize with critical hits, that's why you want to focus on building up on his physical attack instead. Desert Tornado is the main source of damage. You can do a maximum of 3 strikes with a small dash in between. And each time you successfully hit an enemy, the damage of your next hit is increased by 10%. Quicksand Guard is a channeled healing skill, which can also slow down the movement speed of the enemies passing through it. If you are stunned, however, the skill channeling will stop. Raging Storm is an area skill where you deal damage and stun your enemies. You can use this ability to attack, but also as an escape mechanism. Now let's take a quick look at the builds and the battle spells that you can use. Here you can see the current builds that I am using, so depending on the situation and the enemies you are facing, you will want to adjust your in-game items accordingly. For the battle spells, Flicker and Execute work well with Khaleed. Execute is a very good option when you want to burst down your enemies. The upside is that when you get a kill by using this skill, you instantly reduce its cooldown by 40%. Thus, from 90 seconds, you'll only have to wait 54 seconds. For the second battle spell, which is also my preference, is Flicker, because it can be used defensively and also offensively. The downside for this skill is that it has a 2-minute cooldown, so make sure you use it very wisely. For the emblems, there are a few viable options. For me personally, I like using the physical emblem for now, and in the future I'll be using the fighter emblem. The physical emblem gives you a higher damage output and a little bit of magic resistance. Here you will want to level up shield, bravery and open fire. The fire emblem is in my opinion the better option, as it allows you to be more aggressive during the match. With it, you get a lot of spell ramp from the start of the match, which also allow you to be very hard opponent to deal with. For this one you want to level up Bravery, Invasion and Festival of Blood. Khaleed is a hero that is very level reliant in the early game, so this is why you'll want to go to the XP lane if the situation allows it. So in this match I'll be laning against Leslie in the early game. My goal is to try and zone her out and make her lose some experience. The main goal is to reach level 4 before her, and if that's also the case, I'll try and gank her as a result. throughout the next few minutes you will notice that Leslie will constantly try and take the crab. So I decided to take that to my advantage and make her lose some experience in the process. Like this I'm hoping to hit my level 4 faster, which will also be the case. So, as I've mentioned before, Flicker is a very useful skill to have. In this recent situation, I would have been dead without it, and my farm would have went down as a result. So now you will see how high Khaleed's damage can really be. So my advice would be to do your best and use this to the best of your ability. Here I've noticed on the minimap that my allies are about to engage the enemy on the top lane. That's why I decided to make use of this situation and quickly push the bottom turret. Like this I'll be gaining some extra gold, which will be useful later on, and will also clear the map visibility for my team. Here Bane decided to visit me at the bottom lane. However, since I didn't notice any enemies on the minimap, I decided to pull back and play it safe. When you aren't sure where your enemies are, play defensively and make use of the bushes. You will thank me for this one later. So here I've noticed that Lila is out of position, and since the rest of her team is engaging in a team fight, this would be the perfect opportunity for me to farm her instead and maybe push the lane. And I mean, no one says no to free gold, right? Remember, your main goal is to be as productive as possible. So if there is nothing much going on, try and slay some jungle monsters in between.
We win or we die.
In this next teamfight you will see how high Khaleed's damage can really be. When played right, you can cut through enemies like through butter. So just remember to go for the squishy ones first, like the mages and the marksmen. Before any teamfight, mind your positioning and remember who your key targets are. If executed right, it can lead to a huge win instead of an epic fail. Here I decided to play the Good Samaritan and cover my ally's escape. However, for some unknown reason she went back in and died. Oh well. My teammate Bruno here started to chase and got squashed under Lila's boot, unfortunately. So as a result we lost a very good chance to push their base. So yeah, my advice would be to always think twice about your actions. And yeah, don't be like Bruno. So I've noticed that Karina is defending alone. Since she's a squishy hero, we kill her off quickly and also push the bottom turret. So by now we've entered the late game. That's why we're trying to plan our next move very careful. It's very important because in the late game one mistake can cost you the game on its own.
Nothing to fear.
Here we are at a disadvantage as we are already 2 versus 4. Because of this I suspected that the enemies might want to take the Lord and push our base quickly. So I decided to play it safe and scout the Lord positions. As suspected, I've predicted their move correctly, and now we're just waiting for the right moment to engage the enemy team. My teammate here did a really great job of stealing their Lord, and on my part, I distracted the enemies. Unfortunately for this move I had to make the ultimate sacrifice, but sometimes this is actually what's needed in order to win. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and if you have done, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.